informal education which is created in the botanical gardens in campus.
Thank you, Justina. Dear colleagues, I'm from Lithuania, Lithuania, Litauen, small country in East Europe, and my presentation is about our very little experience in education in botanical garden, and my focus on informal education. So, brief history of Kaunas Botanical Garden established in 1923 as University Botanical Garden, but after Second World War, sadly, but my country was disappeared from maps. We are part of Soviet Union, and Botanical Garden is not longer belong to Botanical Institute of Academy of Sciences, and no educational activities, only focus on research. And after, when we are again independent, we have belonged to Vytautas Magnus University. Some facts about Botanical Garden: more than 60 hectares and more than 80,000 visitors per year. We have two departments, one big collection department, which is divided in 4 sectors: medicinal and aromatic plants, dendrology, pomology, and floriculture, including conservatory, and 2 small groups, plant systematic and phytopathology, and another department of service and education. And you can see on the table that we have 3 persons directly caring about education. And total staff is more than about 60 persons. The new VGCI technical review and cloud of the words clouds, and you can see that education, it's about botanic garden and new definition of botanic garden and education. It's a very important part of botanical garden activities. And I like this sentence that botanic garden have an obvious and vital role to play in conservation plans, but conservation cannot succeed without education. And I think every activity in botanical garden, more or less, it's with education activities. Some words about informal education. There are a lot of definition, what is it, and in general term for education that occur outside of structured curriculum. And usually we understand in our botanical garden that informal education goes through exploration and enlargement of experience. But in my country, all informal education programs must have structured curriculum. So the formal informal education or informal education should be formal. So just it's a little bit tricky, but we are trying to live with that rules. Another thing is generation. Well, I will talk about youngsters, about generation Z, Google generation. So it's a first generation to have widespread access to internet from early school age. So we input welcomed and respected and are less tolerant to authoritarian environments, and that's why sometimes school it's such environment, and that botanical garden can be a place for such pleasant environment, for such educational activities. So what we have in my botanical garden, Kaunas Botanical Garden, so as I mentioned before, 1992 main focus was on research, and less visitors, less progress. So no visitors. But after changing very slowly, very small steps to developing education, and from less than 10 years ago, so we started to increase and to start with various activities in this field. So what we have? We have some traditional education activities like guided excursions, green classes, some traditional or occasional small projects, and a small laboratory. I will explain what is it. And some novel maybe for us, so science communication, we're active in that field, summer camps, field excursions, traditional occasional events, including special education activities. But in all these activities, and traditional and novel, should be innovative, interactive, and includes multiple activities. So, just examples, green classes. Of course, not only botany and bird nest boxes, green class, and rare and protected plant species in Lithuania, green class. It's like expanded guided excursions, lessons in outside buildings, outside classes in the buildings. Some small projects for children education. Some examples, campaign against Sosnovsky hawkweed. It's a big problem in my country, invasive plants, and so we have some special activities against these plants, and of course we are involving school children. Another project is control methods of horse chestnut leaf miner, Cameraria ochridella. So small insects make big damages to horse chestnuts. We have one laboratory, we called it NSO, it's Naturalis Scientia Omnibus, natural sciences for everyone. It's activities program of science laboratory classes for children, some special mobile program of science demonstrations performed in other places, in schools, in science festivals. And one very popular, it's a birthday parties, birthday of the young scientists. Strange, but it's very popular amongst youngsters. Science communications, we are active in all available science festivals in our region, in Lithuania, Spacecraft Year, Research Nights, and the Science Festival in Poland, Festival Nauki, participated in Georgia, Iloni Science Picnic. Summer camps, another activity. It's usually 1 week camps inside and outside botanical garden, and daily camps inside botanic garden. But we have another very interesting half-a-day summer camp, especially for young mothers who wants to go to make frisure or to color nails. So we mothers can leave a child in botanical garden for some activities. So we're helping.
Can we do it for long periods?
Oh, for 3 4 hours.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. It's a huge adventure. Field excursions expeditions. We have in one national park our botanic research station, so it's 1 week field excursions to the natural areas of Lithuania. Another interesting event, competition, it's national level competition, Lithuanian naturalist for secondary school children together with partner Lithuanian Center of Non-Formal Youth Education. Whole country, school children from whole country participated in that competition. And of course traditional and occasional events, Fascination of Plants Day, Night of Scents, various plant festivals, plant days, and so on. So there is only small steps what we are moving. So some task for future. We want to establish new educational garden. We have small one, but new one, and of course include garden-based learning to the curriculum of informal education. We want to have some educative program for joint events with protected areas associations to use way. Our protected areas have visitor centers, some houses for like hostels, so to use that equipment and create, find, and develop character symbol of Kaunas BG. We want to talk with children's and children language, so we need some creature, some symbol, some talisman. So and what character children choose as a symbol of Kaunas Botanical Garden? Maybe sun, photosynthesis, maybe flower, maybe insect, or maybe tree. What do you think?
The tree.
I have some souvenirs. Tree.
The tree.
Tree, we'll go for the tree.
No, it's a caterpillar. Yeah, the question is why. We have giant caterpillar in. It's a hornbeam hedge, was formed in the shape of caterpillar. It was measured by Center of Metrology, and the giant caterpillar was presented as the biggest in Lithuania caterpillar-shaped hedge. So it's in a record book of Lithuania. And what we are doing now our caterpillar is 5 years old. Every year we have a birthday party, and you can see it's a fragment from a birthday party. And our caterpillar has been named centipede by children, and it also measured another way. It's yes, I missed my presentation. Yeah. 180 kids and 25 teachers long. Now it's official length of our caterpillar. So it's a final remarks of my presentation. So we are moving and move from less visitors, less problems to diverse educational activities. We have until now 2 officially registered formal education programs, and of course we are planning to have more. And we are trying to do our best to find ways to the generation Z has to be innovative, interactive, and to offer multiple activities. So thank you for your attention, and welcome to see our caterpillar in a Kauno Botanical Garden.
Very much, Nerios. I think that we all love this caterpillar here. Do you have any questions? Please.
You said that you have a Lithuanians naturalist competition.
Yeah.
What do they compete with?
It's various tasks, and from botanical animal science, of course, and it's divided into groups by age, and normal competition between children.
Or information.
Yeah, it's two parts. It's information and some like orientation in our botanical garden to find some plants to explain, to show something.
So it's more like a quest.
Yeah.
Just a comment, the caterpillar is a wonderful idea. There's a book called Hungry Caterpillar.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you read the book to the children in our gardens, be perfect.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? If no, I have a question, because actually now the number of visitors, young visitors to our garden has increased because they are looking for Pokemons. Do you have the same situation?
Yes, we are thinking about it, but I know it's now Pokemon era. It's goes down so early.
Okay, so thank you very much. If you will have any more questions, we can address them at the end. And now we have a second presentation. Our presenter is one of the hosts of this Congress here from Geneva. It is Yamama Nasiri, which is the head curator of the Geneva Botanical Garden. And now she will, is it okay? Mm-hmm. She will present